Our industry's been dogged with poor information for many, many years.
Yes, the lack of need is definitely a big problem, and it is the biggest reason why BIM Level 2 fell flat on its face, is because the clients weren't properly educated in what it was and how to ask for it.
There is this perception that it's more expensive. Expense comes from actually doing things right in the first place, and when doing that, you make massive savings later on in the process.
We've got to more conversations, more storytelling, and more education for clients.
For any organisation, be it a designer, a contractor or a facility manager, if they're being asked to do something new, there's a training process that needs to be undertaken or a recruitment drive that needs to be undertaken. It's going to be more expensive for them to deliver that project. So if they're not being asked for it, why are they going to do it?
The Building Safety Act, when it was called the Building Safety Bill, it was almost, the Building Safety Act was almost seen as too big to happen, right? Oh, we've had Grenfell Tower, clearly something needs to change. Dame Hackett keeps talking about the Building Safety Bill and the change that the industry needs to make happen. And then Royal Assent came along April 22. And at that time, we were told that by October 2023, nothing was really going to happen, but you needed to be aware that something big was coming along. But the industry thought we got 18 months, almost 2 years. It's a long time. No one thought about the skills that were going to be required to deliver the core element of the act, which is the golden thread. The industry did what it does best, became complacent. And it didn't realize that that window of 18 months was going to close very quickly. And no one, including the client, decided to pick up the conversation about, do we have competent people around us? What should have happened is that whole generational shift in attitude and learning and upskilling should have kicked in, and it didn't. So we then got to April 23. The industry is still crying out for skills and technology, and what does it really mean? Building safety regulator hadn't been formed. What they weren't doing was asking what their supply chain thought about what was coming down the tracks. They weren't really thinking about processes required. But the big oversight was, what does the law actually say we need to do? Which was the golden thread, right? So that golden thread, i.e. the ability to chronologically create a digital footprint of how you design a building, build a building, maintain the building, right? That golden thread piece just got lost in translation.
The more that clients, operators, facility operators, the more that they're understanding the benefits of having a reliable data set at the end of a construction project to enable their operations, the more they're going to be requiring it. And whilst we do see a lot of requirements out there, they're not necessarily correct or fit for purpose, but it's a learning journey for everybody, and that they will eventually be getting those requirements right. They'll source the right help to get that done properly, so that they're getting the data set. And obviously with the Building Safety Act, with the requirements of that legislation, there is a requirement for digital handover. And whilst people may look at it as being a bit daunting, or why should we be doing this, the efficiency gains will be noticed, and then everybody's going to be all over it.
The disappointment is that we've got that leadership role in the sector, or have had the leadership role globally, right? The UK, best builders, best construction, best processes, best whatever. You know, we've even been pushing the digital twin as a leader, right? But we're only bringing a few people along. We've got to make it easier, right? I think the reluctance stems from a place of it's too hard, too difficult, too expensive. We don't have time, we don't have to do it. And it's just a lazy perspective. But again, I think with the Building Safety Act, for example, it's not optional anymore, right? You've got to change.
You look at some of these other countries around the world, North America, Arab Emirates, they're all over it. You know, they're talking about in Dubai building digital twins of entire cities, islands, and they're already on their path to learn how to do that. And we're still struggling to name a document correctly. It's a bit of a joke, really.